game in particular, which will be obviously the winner. I don't know if anybody wants to kick off with their first game at all. Brad M, do you want to kick off?
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, someone else. Yeah, Brad M. Brad Moore, kick off.
More? You want more? Okay, right. So my game of the year, I'm going to put down as Destiny 2 Beyond Light, September expansion that come out in November. It was delayed by it was delayed. Yeah, it did come out late November, didn't it? It's played by a while.
Early November, the 10th.
Yeah, it's the 10th, wasn't it? Yeah. Destiny players don't usually pick Destiny as their game of the year because we love to hate this game. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun actually, and I think during lockdown there's been a lot to do on there, which is great. Beyond Light, it launched a new destination, Europa. It was fantastic as well. They had some free marketing at that time. I think the day before Beyond Light come out, NASA had tweeted out that they'd found life on, or like water on Europa. So Bungie just jumped all over that, and it was hilarious. But yeah, Destiny is my guilty pleasure. I've been grinding away. I think Beyond Light is more of the same, which is good and bad. Destiny players always want Destiny to sort of innovate and, what are they going to do next? What's the next big thing? And it always tends to be more of the same, but more of the same is also good at the same time. More loot, more destinations, more power to grind. And yeah, I think overall it's been a lot of fun. It's been a really good expansion. The highlight of the expansion has to be the raid. The raid is the pinnacle activity in Destiny as always, and I think they've really nailed it with this particular raid, the Deepstone Crypt, where we go into the bunkers of Europa and discover where the Exos, which is like a robot race of Destiny, where they're designed and built, and yeah, it's just incredibly fun. Reece, you've had a good go at the raid. You've got a good few clears under your belt now.
Yeah.
What do you think of the raid?
I love it. I think it's fantastic. Maybe because I guess it's the only raid I've done like loads of times. Like the other raids were either I wasn't as committed to Destiny, so I wasn't like at that power level to be like competitive and be like part of the team. But yeah, no, I'm really enjoying it. I thought it was a little bit too easy at first, but adding the new challenges and going for the little triumphs that we'll be doing now and ticking it off, and it looks like we're going to get the seal for it. Yeah, no, I find it really, and the guns are fantastic. I think the loot as well, I think that's really important. Whatever like content is added to like any looter game, not just Destiny, I feel like the loot that you're chasing has got to be good, because that's what makes it like worthwhile. Like the armor is like really cool, the guns are really cool. So yeah, when you got really cool loot and then it's actually fun to do, it's a match made in heaven. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's funny. One of the sort of criticisms by some of the streamers were that the raid was too easy, which was an interesting one. And I've got some stats actually. Like the Last Wish raid that launched at the start of Forsaken, in the first 24 hours that had 4 completions. 4 fire teams of 6 completed the raid, whereas the Deepstone Crypt 29,000 teams completed it in the first 24 hours, which is crazy.
Yeah, but that's a difference.
But a lot of people are saying that that's a great thing. That's a good thing. The world's first raid is this big event. It's a massive event on Twitch. It's the one day of the year on Twitch where Destiny gets more views than the likes of Fortnite and Minecraft and games like that. But I think it's great. We jumped in. We had a go at world's first. Did the first encounter out of 6,
which is impressive.
It is to clear 1 encounter out of 6 is good going. But yeah, no, I think it's good overall. I think the more people that can have access to get in there and have a crack and it not be just so demoralizing and difficult. I praise that. So yeah, I think overall it's been fantastic. Really enjoyed it. So that's my game of the year.
Cool. You guys, I know you guys don't really play Destiny. You got anything like, does it interest you at all? Like hearing Brad M so passionately speak about Destiny and why it's so good? Do you guys want to jump in?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely have to give it a go. Like I said, I did play when it first came out, Destiny 2. I played it and then I completed the storyline for that. But I know since there's been countless updates and add-ons and everything like that. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't the shooting aspect of it really felt, I don't know, it's hard to explain, different. It actually felt like you was actually making an impact on the other players when you were shooting them. So yeah, it was quite, I enjoyed that aspect of it. But yeah, I definitely think I'll give it another go.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. I think it goes back to a conversation that me and Bradley had a couple of weeks ago when we kind of said what Halo was. Halo was the pinnacle of shooters, and so was Call of Duty. When you think of a shooter, you used to think of Halo and Call of Duty, but it wasn't Halo. It was Bungie. Bungie are the pinnacle of shooters, and obviously they've done that with Destiny. It's just, it feels so good, and you don't realize until you go play another game that's a shooter, that's not Call of Duty, probably. And you can tell the difference, and you go back to Destiny, you're like, oh wow, this feels so good. Yeah. And that is why I feel like it's just stuck around for so long. It's just because they're the masters of shooters, like gameplay. It's absolutely phenomenal.
At its core, it's just incredibly satisfying.
Exactly.
They just nail that basic gameplay, and all the stuff they build around it to keep you playing is, it has its criticisms, but it does keep you going at the same time. Like this season has been fantastic, but Destiny's like a roller coaster. It has its ups and downs, it has its peaks and troughs without a doubt. Yeah. But I should also give a shout out to the PS5 port as well. What an incredible job they did with that. It felt like an entirely new game. It was the best thing I was playing on PS5 visually. Out of a good few games. I think they had an easy ride because they'd already got one of Activision Studios to do the PC port. So I think they were already quite prepared for it. I think it was Vicarious Visions that they'd got to port Destiny onto PC. So there was already a version running at 60 frames, 120 in Crucible. With the 4K, and now that's on PS5. It's just that it just feels and plays amazing. So that was really exciting. That was the first time I felt, yes, this is the power of PS5.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It's really impressive. I can't wait for them to add DualSense support, or I hope they do. They're not confirmed yet. Maybe a game that we will talk about in a bit. I started playing it again yesterday, but I'll say that because I know someone else is going to talk about it, and I'll mention it then. But yeah, I really hope they do add DualSense support, just because, especially with the bow and the guns, and it will just add that next level of immersion. Because I think that's a good comparison to Destiny is probably the Division. It's the same type of game. It's gunplay as well, but I feel like a lot of the guns feel the same. Like you shoot them and it feels no different. It's like the same impact pretty much. Where you go to Destiny, whatever gun you're using, it feels different. Like each archetype of gun, it's just, and I think that's its bread and butter.
The sound and design is
exactly,
really intricate. Yeah,
they do something really interesting. Like when I play that, some of the enemies are bullet sponges, but they never actually feel like bullet sponges. They always feel like they're getting hit properly. Whereas in the Division, you just unload clips after clips after clips, and then eventually they go down, and you move on. Yeah, but it's always satisfying, even with the smallest of enemies. When you kill them, for me anyway, when you kill them, you actually feel you've not achieved something, but you've done something. You've not just run through them.
Yeah, and it makes a little bit more sense because you're fighting like aliens or robots, and it makes sense that they're a bit more spongy, some of them. But when you're shooting a person in the head, bang, bang, with a shotgun, and he's just like, his bars go
flinches like that.
Yeah, like that. It's like, it's a bit like, all right, this is a bit silly now. Like, come on.
The more you talk about Destiny each week, the more I do feel like I should play. I played a little bit with you back years ago, Reese. And I did play like Destiny 1 a little bit, but I do like the idea of like the community and the camaraderie and like these big events. It does that does sound appealing, but then it's the countless hours that you have to put into like you say, the grind to get anywhere, and that's kind of like time commitments that I don't know, puts me off a little bit. But yeah, it does. I do every time we finish the podcast. I'm like, I might download Destiny again, but then I just don't.
It is a commitment to get to that point, but once you get to that point, you just got to invest a lot of time at the beginning. I feel, and once you're there and you can do things with other people, once you're kind of around, like I don't know, maybe Brad would say like not necessarily pinnacle cap, but like level cap, like hard cap will be cool. I feel like you can just play with people. You don't have to get to that pinnacle grind, which is the real grindy part.
Yeah, yeah.
Which is like the real hard stuff, like the really hard, like the Master Nightfalls, the Grandmaster Nightfalls, which are like really hard stuff, which we've been doing recently because you get really good rewards. But to do like a raid or whatever, like we played with someone, we did it like LFG, what we call like, where we just go on the app and you just get random people in. And we had a guy that was like 1250 something, which is just after hard cap. Like we're in like 1270s. And he's like 20 power levels below us, but yet he can still play with us fine.
Yeah,
so you just need to be at that kind of hard cap.
Yeah.
Really.
The Online introduced a pretty good entry point to the game as well. It's become a bit of a clusterfuck over the years because it keeps on getting built on. For someone new to come to Destiny, it's always been a challenge for them. But there was a lot of sunsetting happened this year, so they took about 4 planets out of the game. So yeah, Destiny Vanilla Year 1 it's like a different game. Like if you've got that game on disc, it's gone. You put in the disc, there's a patch, everything that's on that disc is gone, and there's new planets in there now, new weapons, new gear, and everything. But they've made a good entry point. There's like a specific vendor now who, rather than like being plonked into this world, is like, well, fucking hell, everyone's so powerful, and like, where do I go? What do I do? There's like a purpose-built tutorial to sort of take you through. This vendor sort of guides you, which they haven't had, but they did take away the main vanilla campaign, which was a good starting point, and they've replaced it with a tutorial, which I think is less confusing, but it's just not as much content, I guess.
Yeah, because I did start playing the campaign, and then I didn't finish it, and then Reese said it's gone now, so that's I never get back, but I might jump back in at some point.
All right, I'll get that down in writing.
Yep.
I've emailed you a contract, if you could sign it, please.
Yeah, no, you both should just give it a go. Just give it a try if you like it and jump in and you want to play. We've actually got like a team of like just loads of people to play with now. So yeah, I think that's a big thing as well. When you're playing by yourself and then when you've got like a group of people to play with, the end game is so much more enjoyable. Like I probably wouldn't be playing it now if I never joined like Brad's like clan kind of thing, because playing by yourself and trying to get random people to play with, it's not the same than having the same people that you're kind of playing with. So yeah, no, it's all good. Cool.
Sweet.